I've heard there's a new series in Hero Factory now.
Yeah.
I haven't been told what it is though.
Why are we dressed in clown costumes?
Oh yeah, what is this?
Why is there balloons? Shows, photo booth, rides. Welcome to the
Circus.
Oh, circus.
Oh, I love the circus, mate.
I do love a good circus.
What's it? High tightrope? Oh, I love that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know, should we start?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
sure.
we'll start.
Hero Factory 3V. I'm Luigi, and this is my pet lion. Not really a pet lion anymore. It's kind of dead. You know, I'm a professional lion tamer. Very good at my job. Been doing it my entire life since I was 17 years old. None of you are 17 years old, but when you get 17, maybe take up lion taming. Very good. So this is my pet. Dead pet. He was my pet, and I've tamed him since when he was a little kitty cat. Little kitty cat on the floor. Yeah. He was very small. Used to play with a ball of yarn, but now he grew up to be a big lion, and he got so old he kind of died. So sad, I know. But now I carry him with me wherever I go, on my head and in my my amazing jacket. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hello Hero Factory, my name is Colleen and I am the kids pastor here at church. You've probably seen my face before on this screen. It is so good to have you in kids church today at the start of a brand new series which is called Welcome to the Circus. Now I don't know where you're watching this. You could be in Richmond, you could be in Bishop Auckland, you could be in Workington or Penrith or Barnard Castle, or you could just be watching this online at home. Either way, it is so good that you are here today and we hope you have enjoyed Kids Church so far. So I've heard that a few minutes ago you met the Hero Factory Lion Tamer. Now I love lions. I think lions are incredible animals. They are huge and massive, but they're also pretty scary. They are the most the fiercest animal in the whole world. They are very, very dangerous. But a lion tamer is somebody who cares for the lions since they're tiny and they tame them so that they will be nice little lions in the circus. Has anybody ever been to the circus before? I don't actually think there's lions in the circus anymore, but a lion tamer's job is to tame a lion. Now in the Bible there is a story about a man called Daniel, and Daniel finds himself in a tricky situation involving some lions. Watch this video and you'll find out a little bit more.
Stories of the Bible. Daniel in the Lion's Den. This is Daniel.
Oh, hey!
Who was a Jewish man who was taken to Babylon when he was very young.
Yeah.
Daniel loved God and followed God's rules. He talked to God 3 times a day and asked God for help often. Daniel served in the Babylonian king's court for many years
Yeah, I know him.
and under many kings.
Hey, Daniel.
Daniel always proved himself to be more capable than all the other court officials.
I'm here, huh? Thanks. Well, anytime.
Daniel was serving under King Darius, and because of his great abilities, the king made plans to place him in charge of the entire empire.
Wow, okay.
The other court officials searched for some fault in Daniel, but they couldn't find anything wrong with him. He was faithful, responsible, and completely trustworthy.
Wait.
The court officials realized the only way to get at Daniel would be to challenge his faith.
Come on.
So they went to King Darius
Excuse me, Your Majesty.
and advised him to make a law that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone except King Darius will be thrown into the lion's den.
I like it.
King Darius signed this law, and once a Babylonian king signed a law, it could not be overruled. When Daniel learned of this law, he went home and knelt down, as he always did, to pray in his room with the windows open towards Jerusalem. He prayed 3 times a day, just as he always had done, giving thanks to God and asking for his help. The officials went to Daniel's house and found him praying.
Gotcha.
They went to the king and reminded him of the law.
I remember.
Well,
Then they said that Daniel had been found praying to God 3 times a day.
What?
When the king heard this, he was very upset,
Get over here.
and he spent the whole day trying to think of a way to save Daniel.
wait, what?
By that evening, the court officials came back to the king and reminded him that no law signed by the Babylonian king could be overruled. So at last, the king gave orders for Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den. The king said to him, "May your God, who you serve faithfully, rescue you." Then the lion's den was sealed shut with Daniel inside. The king spent the night fasting and couldn't sleep. Then very early in the morning, the king hurried to the lion's den. He called out,
Hey, Daniel.
"Was your God able to rescue you from the lions?" And Daniel answered, "Long live the king! My God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths so that they would not hurt me, for I have been found innocent in his sight." The king was overjoyed and ordered that Daniel be taken out of the lion's den. Then the king ordered the men who had schemed against Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den as punishment. Daniel was safe. There was not a scratch on him, for he trusted in God.
Wow, how amazing is that story? That story is all about Daniel and how Daniel was this honored man and how he loved God and how he prayed to God 3 times a day. But these leaders didn't really like Daniel, so they tried to trick him and they made King Darius sign this law, the law that said that they could only pray to him. Anyway, Daniel didn't do that. He prayed to Jesus, didn't he? And because he prayed to Jesus, it meant that he was thrown into the lion's den. But while he was in the lion's den, God protected him and kept him safe. You know, Hero Factory, in our lives, we're going to have times when we're going to be in situations where we're a little bit scared and we are a little bit worried. Now, I have been in a situation before where I've been scared and worried. You know, I went to school, a lot like many of you are probably at school now, and there were loads of situations where I was scared. There used to be these children at school who weren't very nice to me. They used to call me horrible names and they used to say horrible things to me, and I used to hate going to school. I was really scared and I was really worried about being at school. But I remember hearing the story of Daniel in the lion's den, and I remember hearing all about how God protected Daniel. He protected Daniel from these fierce lions, these lions that could hurt him and could kill him and could basically cause lots of damage. God protected him from them. And that made me realize if God can protect Daniel from the lions, he can protect me and keep me safe. So even though I went through a scary situation and even though I was really worried, God protected me and he kept me safe. You know, in our lives, we're going to be in situations where we're scared. It could be something like the dark. It could be something about a test that you have at school or something maybe is happening at home that you're worried about. But we can remember that God is always with us. In the Bible, in a book called Deuteronomy, can you say Deuteronomy? Deuteronomy, that's right, it says this. Are you ready? It says in Deuteronomy chapter 3 verse 16, "Be strong and courageous." So basically be strong and be brave. "Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." What that Bible verse means, Hero Factory, is that in our lives there are going to be times when we're going to be scared. I'm sure Daniel was probably pretty scared being thrown into a den of lions, and we know how scary lions can be. But he knew that God was with him and he trusted that God would keep him safe. In our lives, we're going to be in situations that scare us, but we can remember that we don't need to be afraid and we don't need to be scared because God is always with us. So Daniel wasn't quite a lion tamer. I mean, God was there protecting him. He wasn't a lion tamer at all. But just like the lion tamer tames the lion, God was in that cave and in that den with Daniel, and he made the lions not hurt him. God protected Daniel from these scary animals, and God protects us and keep us safe in whatever situation that we are going through. So Hero Factory this week, it may be school, it may be test, it may be something that's happening at home that is worrying you or you're a little bit scared about. Remember that we don't need to be afraid because God is always with us and he goes everywhere with us, and just like he protected Daniel, he can protect us as well.
Man, that lion tamer, how do you think about the lion tamer?
Pretty cool, isn't he?
Very cool.
Pretty cool. Have you heard about what's next week?
No.
Something to do with fire.
Fire?
Yeah.
I'll make sure to bring a fire extinguisher.
Okay. Well, we'll see you later.
Alright.